And this is Hadassah Jacobs. I am live today. Sorry about my voice. I somewhere caught a frog in my throat. But I'm live today because I need to test Restream. We've been working on it for the last few weeks going live, and we're having audio problems and such that we didn't have on other platforms. So I've been working with it today to fix it. Usually we have our team meeting right now, but right now, because we're not having a team meeting today, I thought this is a great time for me to go live and test it. Our last live, the first 5 minutes were good. The sound was good. Everything was good. And then I got static for the rest of the video. So I'm going to do a very short video here. And I thought if I am going to go live, I might as well talk about something important. And I want to talk about something that I think is very important for entrepreneurs, small businesses. If you're a large, thriving business and everything is working for you the way you want it, this is not for you. However, what I have found is that people that start businesses, they get organizations and they have ideas for those organizations, miss usually one of the most vital components that is going to enable them to grow. And this also refers to people starting YouTube channels, authors, podcasters, people that are creating courses, those that are sharing knowledge, those that are wanting to grow influence. There's usually one component that is decentralized, and it is the component in today's market that needs to be centralized. So I'm going to take just a couple minutes and talk about this. Now, most of you who are entrepreneurs, you probably have never gone to marketing school. You don't have degrees in marketing, right? And I did graduate in Dale Carnegie in marketing and sales many, many moons ago. And then also, I've been involved in marketing all my life, but most people have no clue what it really even means. So I thought we'd start today with just looking at a very quick definition of what marketing is, because it's kind of that word that people don't even really like to use, because when they think of marketing, all they think about is sales, the big bad sales word. However, we're going to talk about marketing, and marketing has changed in the last decade, and it's really changing for this decade. And that's why I don't want you to go away. I want you to understand what this shift is and how important this shift is to starting a business, and how important this shift is to existing businesses. And if you're a brick and mortar business, you really need to understand this shift, because brick and mortar is no more. It doesn't mean that you can't have a physical place and a physical building. Yes, that's not going away. But how you do business has to be intricately interconnected with the online space, and not only the online space, but with influence platforms. And this is vital, and it's becoming more vital, not only for the competitive edge, but also for strategic messaging. So let's just take a quick look at what marketing, is and has been forever. And it's here it is. This is old school to take you new school. So old school, here we have marketing. So it's your activities and projects, right? That here you create so you can promote and you can sell, or today we would say share your product, right? And that's what you're sharing, products and services, products and or services. So that's all marketing is. It's the projects. It's the activities that you create to promote, sell, and I'm going to actually put in here one last one because this is the big one for today. Real important because you want to be sharing. Sharing's a lot less scarier than selling, but still you have to be promoting. And you do this through advertising. You do this through things called freemiums. There's several ways that you do this. And we can talk more about that later, but I'm going somewhere here because it's going to be sweet and short. Now there's the 4 P's to marketing. And those 4 P's to marketing have been around time immemorial, all right? That is your product, right? Then you have your price. You price out your product so you can, have a profit, right? Then you have the place. That's where you're going to sell the product, all right? Market the product. And then you have the promotion. That's how you're going to do it. However, there's actually 3 more P's that go with the 4 P's. So we really got 7 P's, right? But these 3 P's are real important today, okay? And that is people, partnerships, and proof. People, partnerships, and proof. These 3 are really what make up an influence platform. The people, all right? Then you have here the partnerships, and then you have here the proof. People, partnerships, and proof. These 3 P's of the 7 P's of marketing, believe it or not, need to come center stage. And this is what makes up an influence platform. These are old school, but still important, okay? That's your product, right? How you price your product, very important. The place where you're going to sell your product and how you promote it. However, today, unlike in the past, the place and the promotion, the way you promote and where you promote has changed. So even if you have a brick and mortar store, then we all know display is very important. And we all know that everything you do in that space is important. But believe it or not, today, that's not the place where you are going to be connecting with these 3 P's, the people, the partnerships, and the proof. This all takes place today online through social media platforms. Now, it also takes place through not only social media platforms, but what I call influence platforms. Now, these make up influence platforms, but influence platforms are a little different. An influence platform, the 4 main influence platforms are books, all right? And that comes in many forms. That is written material, okay? YouTube, video material, okay? Podcast material, and courses, sharing your knowledge. These are the 4 main areas of influence. So these influence platforms combined with people, partnerships, and proof is exactly what is replaced the old school place and we have place and promotions. So this is what's replaced it. Now, this is important because 90% or more of all people who start businesses, entrepreneurs, non-for-profit organizations, 90% of them never really ever get off the ground. 90%. And the reason they don't is because they are using typical old school business models. Now I want to show you something. I'm going to come back to another very key component of what we're talking about in a minute, but I want to show you something right now. I'm going to go to some old school business models. Here's one. We've got the CEO at the top, directors, managers, employees. Okay, let's take another one. All right, here it is. We've got the CEO and everybody starts to just kind of grow out and grow out. Now, we do want that. Of course we do. Now, let's take a look at something that is core here. Business model, core values, cost and distribution, management, marketing, product and services. All of this is good. But what's in the center here? The business model, the word business. All right. Here we have another one, very interesting. What's in the center here? Innovation. And you have growth strategies, value propositions, market segments, value, to whatever. But center is innovation. Now here we have one where your value proposition, what you are going to offer your target audience, is in the center. You've got your customer, your channels, your other entities, the process in which you're going to do this, value in return. Believe it or not, that's very good. Okay. So most people notice the business model. What's in the center of that? I actually think I wrote that out. It's your organization, your product, your service, right? That's what's central. Today, that business model does not move you forward. Whoa. I cannot tell you. I don't even have, I don't have enough fingers to give you examples, but I sit on boards and I will tell you, one of the biggest struggles I have working with organizations, especially non-for-profit organizations or government-run organizations, one of the biggest problems that we cross consistently is the business model, because there is really either no place or marketing, and I'm going to talk about the next part, branding, and what we shared with the 3 Ps, the influence platform, is relegated outside of the central part of the company. So you might have a little department with somebody working on social media over here, maybe, and that's a reach. You might have a little marketing department and they're working on a couple of campaigns that came from the top, the CEO, or a few people that, the strategy of how they're going to promote things. And they'll have that little part of the organization over here. And then everything else is focused on what I just showed you, which is your product and your service. However, I'm going to show you something new, but before I do, I got to show you something very important, because we talked about what marketing is and how we have the 7 Ps, 4 Ps, constant, the 3 Ps, vital. Now, you can barely see this. I wrote it in white intentionally because branding is, for most entrepreneurs in startup, it's just insignificant. In fact, most startups, even marketing, is relegated to this small idea. Once we have the product done, once we have the book written, once we start the YouTube channel and we get the video done, then we'll think about these things. However, today, this is vital. How you start is key. It doesn't mean you have to invest a lot of money. You just have to keep these considerations at the forefront. So I put this in white because it's so invisible to most people starting a company. But branding is your voice and it is your mission. It's your purpose. It is your distinct, unique identity. It is what is going to connect you across all your social media platforms, across all your influence platforms. It is what is going to connect you with your consumers. It is your color. It is your logo. It is your visual design. And it is the tone in which you set in motion in everything. So this is what your target audience is going to know. And over time, it becomes so subliminal, they can pick you out of a crowd. That is branding. Let's take a look, though. Something very interesting about branding. So a brand is a name, a logo, right? It is your identity. I always say it's your story, your purpose. It's your color. It's the texture it's your voice, all right? But it is absolutely connected to how you market, and it is connected to your strategy. This is all interconnected. And so often, once again, I see how disconnected these are from the business model. And that is especially for organizations and for those who are individual startups or individual entrepreneurs wanting to build an influence platform. So with that, you're going to say, okay, so what? Well, I'm going to say that a new business model, and it's time for a new business model. And that is where marketing, and I'm going to call this, all right, we're going to call this social marketing, all right, which includes your branding, right? Okay. It is actually the center, because today, everything you do in a company, everything you do has to flow through your influence platform and your social channels. Everything. Before, an old school marketing has this department relegated as a department that is its own little thing happening on the side. But today, everything your company does, every idea, every product, every purpose, your voice, your story, your mission, your courses, your channels, everything has to flow through social marketing. Your products, how you sell, where you sell, how you promote, all of this flows through the center. So where this used to be a little department in a business model, now it needs to become the core of the business model, and all the departments need to be built around it so they're flowing in and out of your social marketing department. But really, I call it the center of the company, the core. So everything has to flow in it and out of it. So with that said, this is a new kind of era we're in with social marketing. Online, everything's online. And if you haven't been building for the last decade or two online, then you're like, whoa, I got to get online. What do I do? Where do I start? Well, that's what we do at Olive Tree. We help you get started and get going. But we want you to understand how important social marketing and how important branding is. And with that, if you really want to grow in 2023, we need to look at your business model, and we need to make adjustments. You need to make adjustments. So the most important things, which is connecting, and it's going back to something we said at the very beginning, and that is those 3 P's of the 7 P's of marketing. They are what make up today your key. And that is people, partnerships, and right here, your social proof. And that all gets connected to your influence platform and your social media channels. So this is Hadassah Jacob from Olive Tree. We are a full-service marketing company and an educational platform, as well as a social media messaging strategist company. So we are I call it messaging strategy. So we do that. We have coaching programs, and we actually help companies develop this new core center of their organizations and businesses. Those that don't do this and don't actually build their business around this, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will still be where you are today. You will not experience the kind of growth that you are looking for with your influence, with your products, with your business. So with that, it's Hadassah. I'm signing out. And again, I was just here doing a test run on some changes we made to the restream platform that we're using for lives. So I want to make sure that the sound is coming through, everybody's hearing, the replay is going well. So I probably will be on again to tweak some more. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. God bless. Here we go. How do I get out of here? Here we are. End stream. Bye-bye.